Okay, while it would be really freaking cool to not have to pay back our student loans, because who doesn't love free shit? Nobody is saying that they think we shouldn't have to pay them back. We are saying make them pay backable, okay? Pump the brakes on the interest, bitch.
Yeah, go back to school, put them loans in deferment, make the interest payments if you can, and just wait this shit out. At least at the end of this, you'll have some more skills, another degree, and potentially, depending on who's in office after all of this, you might be better off for it financially.
I've been playing a catch me if you can game with them student loans for a very long time. So I'm still going to continue to play that same game after May 5th. I don't know who these people think they are trying to take money back for a degree. Like, I'd understand if I owed something for something serious. A degree? You want me to pay you for me being an educated, upstanding individual in the society? I need to now pay you because I'm intelligent and a great civilian? Please.
What Trump is doing on student loans is literally going to crash the economy. And I'll use my personal situation to show you how. And if you're one of these people at this point who is rooting for the downfall of people who have student loan debt, you're going to find out real quick that when we go down, you're going to go down too, because that's how the economy works when no one can afford to buy and sell things to each other. Because this is the impact just on me of what he has done. My payment is going to more than quadruple. I went to school for public health. Never in a million years would I have gone to school for public health and taken out the amount of money that I had to take out to get here if income-driven repayment plans were not an option. And he just closed the application to all of those plans. So my payment will be going from a percentage, a somewhat manageable percentage of my income every month, to the amount that will pay off my loans in the next 10 years. 13 million people are on these income-driven repayment plans in this country and are maybe about to have their payment double, triple, quadruple. Do you not think that's going to affect the entire economy and your job too? When tens of millions of people cannot spend money on your goods and services anymore, this is like tens of millions of people in their 20s and 30s moving back in with mom and dad type of situation because they can't literally afford an unexpected $1,000 a month student loan payment. Most of these 13 million people would not have gone to college or wouldn't have gone to the college for the career that they went for if these plans were not available when they signed those contracts. People are not trying to dupe the system. They're not trying to get out of anything. We're just trying to pay the plan that was available when we signed this contract, which was it'll be a percentage of your income. You'll be paying for the rest of your fucking life, but at least it won't be $1,000 a month on your $50,000 teacher salary.
First, they took away the income-driven repayment plans, and now they're requiring everybody to pay back all of their student loans.
Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out. I was so excited for tonight. Oh my God, I'm so worked up. I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my God, it says my payment's late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month with my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like, what did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over Mohila. You're ugly. I don't have time for this. I'm crying over a fucking stupid student loan.
I feel so disheartened. I was just looking at my day one video of starting this journey, and I have paid $270 towards my balance since then. And I have only paid off $154 of my balance. I just am so frustrated. And this is why student loans are a scam. Like, I get that there's interest, but why does it accrue daily instead of monthly like normal loans? Why is it so high? I don't understand. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent. Thanks for being on this journey, and hopefully we can get these loans paid off.
Mahela called me yesterday and asked if I could pay my $1,000 past due balance, and I said, baby, no, I can't. I need a payment plan. And ultimately, the plan that we landed on is going to be the graduated extended plan, which means I only have to pay something like $106 a month for 2 years, and then every 2 years, the payment plan goes up by like $50 or something like that. So nothing crazy. But we also decided to go back into forbearance, so all my past due loans and anything due up until June 21st would go into forbearance. So I guess that means that it still accrues interest, but you don't actually have to pay it, so it doesn't affect your credit scores. Let me know. So I'll be in forbearance until June 21st and then have to make a $106 payment every month for 2 years, and then it's going to go up $50. Something about that feels way too good to be true. Let me know. And mind you, they called me. I didn't call them. Also, this phone call took 15 minutes, not hours like everybody else. So I'm a little bit worried that something's wrong and I didn't do something right and I'm going to get screwed down the line.
You fuckers that keep saying, why should my tax dollars pay for other people's student loans? One, go fuck yourself. If your tax dollars did pay for student loans, it's because you're investing in society as a whole. A rising tide lifts all boats. The smarter that people are, the better off all of us are. But second, your tax dollars aren't paying for student loans. Our country makes billions of dollars from the interest of these student loans. Our country profits from student loans. So your tax dollars aren't paying for people's student loan interest forgiveness. If anything, sorry, but the country is not making a profit off the backs of people that needed to take out student loans to better themselves in life. I'm so sick of Republican viewpoint of, I don't want my tax dollars to pay for blah, blah, blah. What do you want tax dollars to pay for? You live in a society that offers you services. The government is not a business, it's a service. You literally take advantage of things all day that tax dollars pay for. All day. And if you didn't have these services that you pay taxes to pay for, then it would be private companies offering all of these services and you'd be paying a fuck ton more money.
If you didn't want to pay back your student loans, you never should have taken them out. I paid back my student loans, why aren't you paying back yours? There's no responsibility anymore. These are just 3 of the stupid comments I've seen today when people are talking about the student loan repayment process. And what I think they aren't comprehending is that people aren't saying they won't pay them back. They're saying it's like physically impossible to pay them back. Many student lenders are predatory, and no matter how much you pay and for how long you pay, the balance never goes down. Making a comparison for older generations who paid back their student loans, what was your student loan payment? Like how much did you go to school for? Because I guarantee you it's not what people are going to school for nowadays. It's literally per semester the price of like a luxury vehicle. And then not only that, the cost of living has gone up because yes, we do have bills to pay. We cannot just pay our student loans and nothing else, but the wages have not gone up. And I'm not even speaking for myself. I have a master's degree. I luckily only have FAFSA loans and I don't have any predatory lenders, and I'm not on default or behind, and I'm paying back my student loans and I don't have a lot of them. But it just is such a stupid argument to see people come on here and just express how ridiculous it is. And not that they won't pay them back, that they are paying them back, but they physically cannot decrease the balance. And like all I can think is, I don't want to hear anyone bitching and complaining when there's nobody going into healthcare and there's no one to work in healthcare systems to take care of anyone because it is financially impossible to get into that field anymore. Like, I don't want to hear it. And unfortunately, I feel like this is another like fuck around and find out moment, because all of these people in the comments who think the people making these videos are lazy, when like the majority of the ones I've seen are people who work in healthcare and are doing like amazing work and working their asses off to not be able to afford their loans and also just living.
What happens to our healthcare system after this student loan thing kicks in? Truly. Because I can name on one hand the amount of nurses I know that have never taken out student loans. I know older nurses that I have worked with who have paid them off, and a lot of the times the older nurses are the ones who took the 2-year route and then eventually got their BSN. But they could start out as 2 years. I haven't worked with an associate's nurse. I'm a hematology, oncology, bone marrow transplant, cross-trained CAR-T, you name it, oncology, chemotherapy, I've done it. In order to work at the hospitals I work at, you have to have a BSN. And honestly, I became a nurse in 2020. The AA degree that you can get in nursing, it's obsolete. It's obsolete. And I went straight for my BSN. And I was told by all of my conservative family members over and over and over again that I needed a 4-year degree. And now I'm a dumbass for going to college. which is like a crazy narrative. That's a crazy narrative switch. Anyway, what happens to our hospitals after this? The doctors that I have worked alongside with have over $500,000 worth of student loans. I know nurse practitioners with $250,000 because that's what it costs to get an advanced degree. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? School, college. What happens when we stop getting medicine from China in particular, but other countries that make our pharmaceuticals stop sending us medicine? What happens when Medicare and Medicaid get so crushed that we literally can't take those patients anymore? And then your healthcare workers are going bankrupt. What happens to our hospital systems then? Is no one paying attention to that? Healthcare workers have some of the highest student loans, and they're not going to be able to pay them back with their wages, because that's another thing. We're underpaid. We're underpaid. Resident doctors start out making $60,000 a year. Nurses have salaries that are still, I was offered last year a position for $32 an hour as a highly accredited, highly specialized nurse. Those wages could have not met what my student loan burden would be after this kicks in. I mean, what are we doing? We're going to literally crash our healthcare system through doing this. Like, you would think it'd be something else, but no. It's not pulling NIH research. It's not pulling the medicine. It's not ruining Medicare and Medicaid. No. It's going to be the fact that your healthcare workers are going to go bankrupt and have to find elsewhere to work because they're not going to be able to make ends meet.